Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the latest episode of Supernatural, There's Something About Mary. And I overall really like this episode, because it brought the British Men of Letters and the Lucifer part with, like, Crowley to their kind of endgame states, because we've kind of already got that with Hess and the Nephilim. So it kind of made sense for them to use this episode to kind of, like, bring them all together at once. So this episode opened and we saw Eileen running from something. And of course, as she's running, she turns around to shoot at it and we find out that this thing is invisible and kind of starts dragging her around and we're like, oh, it's got to be a hellhound. And our theory is more confirmed when we hear a dog kind of whistle and we see Ketch using it to control this hellhound. And then she goes to Eileen and that's kind of where we're left off. And we see that Sam and Dean are kind of like in Mary's motel room, kind of like searching around to try and get a bead about what's going on with her. And, of course, they're trying to figure out what they can trust. Because Sam's like, well, what have we heard from Ketch? She's like, well, he says he hasn't seen her in a week. Well, we got that call about like 2 days ago saying that she has been working on him. He's like, yeah, so let's kind of get on the horn with him. So they get on the horn with him. And he says he hasn't seen her or whatnot, doesn't know where she's at, and pretty much being a dick to Dean. He's like, well, he's lying, of course. So we've got to figure out what's going on. While they get into that, Sam gets a call from Jody, and they learn that Eileen is dead, mauled by an animal in South Carolina in an area that really wouldn't have animal attacks like that at all. So they go off, they see Eileen's body and everything. They're kind of pissed off. They're like wondering what could this have been. They pretty much deduced that it was a hellhound and that it would be kind of weird that all these monsters are attacking all these people because Dean was like, okay, some hunters are knocking off. It's not that big of a deal if it's pretty much 2. Sam's like 3. Mom makes 3. They get to like Eileen's body and they figure out that it's like 7 hunters within a 3-week period. It's like the monsters and demons can't be working in tandem on this. They've got to figure out what's going on. I don't think a demon would have like just unleashed a hellhound on her like that. So that gets them to pretty much connecting up with the whole Crowley bit. It's like, okay, what's going on with this? Because Sam's pissed off and wants to punch something, and Dean's like, you hold on to that. So that's when they try and get in contact with Crowley. For this, we start seeing more kind of stuff along the lines of what's going on with the hunters. We see this one hunter dude come home, put a bloody machete in the umbrella stand, and just like walking around his apartment, and we find out that Mary's there. It's like, okay, this is interesting. And at first I thought it could have been the shifter. They were using the shifter to kill this hunter guy or whatnot. But we go through and we see that he's like trying to get her a beer and all that, sees her flick out her knife, and he breaks a bottle, slices her on the hand, and slips, and then Mary slices his throat. Oh God, what's going on with this? Then we see Mary in her cell and everything kind of like weirded out. Seeing flashes of this is what's going on. And then of course Lady Bevel comes in talking about like, we're not trying to kill you, you're an asset. We're pretty much trying to make you the best you, the natural born killer you, the best hunter you. And since the American hunters aren't cooperating, we're repealing and replacing, putting our own people in place. It'll be fine, we're good. And she's like, was asking if she was here last night and everything, and she's like, that's kind of a silly question to ask. And then we start seeing like her having flashes of what's going on, of her getting injected with some kind of serum, whatnot, and then getting electroshock therapy and all that. And she's like, listen, we read up on you, how your children have been treated and all that, and you even inviting Azazel into your house after he had saved John and all that. And while after you were dead, he went crazy and all what he had done with like Sam and Dean. Don't worry, we're gonna keep you. And then of course Mary tries to like get up on her and she punches her and she's like, oh, okay, we'll see how long you can make those choices. And then leaves. It's like, holy crap. Then we get the scene with Dr. Hess and Crowley comes in. It's like, holy crap. So they've been working together. And he's like, I applaud you taking out the hunters and everything. It's like, that's cool. She's like, all right, just making sure that our arrangement in the UK will work over here. We'll let you keep doing everything you do to like humans who are idiotic enough to sell their souls, and then you share information with us. And I hope you're not too invested in the Winchesters because we're not going to spare you. And of course, Crowley was like, well, I was kind of confused of why Ketch would want a hellhound, didn't think he would want a pet. So of course, we figure out that they're all together and everything, and that leads us to Crowley having a phone call from the Winchester saying he doesn't know Eileen, has all of his hellhounds at where he needs them. And while this is going on, we see this demon Drexel still trying to help Lucifer. And Lucifer's like, listen, you keep doing this, I get it. If you can get the security settings to minimum and my power to maximum, I will roll the dice to see what's going on. And then, of course, Drexel kind of hides while Crowley comes in, does his usual spiel, talking about he will use Lucifer to take out the British men of letters because he doesn't like being given ultimatums, how he's going to use Lucifer's son to pretty much take over the world and all that, and that he's going to be my slave and all that. So that's kind of where we're seeing Lucifer being kind of pissed off at that. Then we get to see at the eventuality for like the whole kind of Lucifer thing, Drexel is able to get these security settings down. And what that means is he's looking at it and this is strange. As this is powering down, it's powering up on Crowley. Okay, layman's terms. You're going to be able to control Crowley. And seeing Lucifer, like, get that kind of straight and his, like, face glowing and that, like, smirk and everything, Mark Pellegrino just does a great job for it. I was like, oh, God. So, that's kind of where we get left off at that point at the moment. And we see Sam and Dean kind of, like, going through, figuring out more. Since that was their kind of wall, they are at the post office. They figure out that they got a letter from Eileen saying that she has figured out that she's being trailed and hacked by the British men of letters and wanting to stay at the bunker. But of course, she never makes it that far. And they're like, okay, if she's been bugged, what if we've been bugged? So, of course, they go back, they strip and search the bunker, and Dean's able to find the microphone. So they pretty much get it set up that they give false information to him, saying that they're meeting a hunter who's got information that the British men of letters are tailing them and trying to kill them at this ironworks place. And of course, you're like, ah, that's good. Then we switch back to like the British men of letters, and before we get them to the information, we see Dr. Hess talking with Ketch and Lady Bevel. She's like saying that the process with Mary is going along smoothly and all that, and that that's fine. We see Ketch talking with Hess, and she's like, hey, you can run this. It's like, I don't want to. It's like, you kill people. You're watching this woman be pretty much indoctrinated. It's just a whole nother thing to do. It's like, well, okay, well, I don't know. Wouldn't Lady Bevel want it? It's like, yeah, she desperately wants it. So you're both kind of fighting for it. You've had sex with both of them. So this will be an interesting play. So we then see that they're like talking in the Hellhound room because Ketcher's like trying to teach Lady Bevel how to use the Hellhound and the whistle and all that. And they're kind of like button heads because they're like, oh, it'll be like Kendrick's days, and Lady Bevel usually takes out all the people that are in her way. And then just seeing them clash over that's like, okay, how's this going to work out? So someone comes in and says that Mary Winchester wants to see Ketch. So he goes off for that, and of course the one person that was listening in to the Winchesters comes and tells Lady Bevel about it. It's like, okay. So we see Mary, and she's trying to get Ketch to help her. And, of course, she starts kind of like crying on his shoulder, and then she pulls a gun. It's like, oh, what's she going to do? And she tries to kill herself. And Ketch is like, stops her from it. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, besides my family, all I've had is my will, and you guys are even taking that. Just kill me. Put me out of my misery. Take me out of this. And it's like, he's like, no, it'll be over soon. I promise. It's like, seeing Mary broken like that. It's a powerful thing. I thought they were going to go her trying to like Rambo her way out. This is a pretty good way for the story to go to kind of like challenge Mary in this way because we don't really see that much like mind control brainwashing going on. It's like, holy crap, seeing this, like, this is a big thing. And it'll be interesting to see how this affects her character and everything going forward. So while that's going on, we see the kind of fallout for the whole Lucifer stuff. He knows what's going on. We see Crowley come in pretty much doing his thing, and we get a really great scene that's really well done by Mark Shepard and Mark Pellegrino. And we see that Crowley's doing his usual spiel and all that, and we see Lucifer doing little things to kind of test his control, making him stick out his tongue, kind of like touching his face and all that, and then start doing jigging and everything. He's like, hey, looks like you're my slave now and everything. It's like, oh, I'll just have you be doing the like minutia and everything. I'll be the big picture guy. You'll be the little picture guy. And Crowley is just like horrified at this. It's like, holy crap. And then we just see it kind of like going further as like Lucifer throws him out into the room, kind of flexing his dominance and power, actually doing the angel wings and all that, and winking and all that. And he's got Crowley up, and of course it would be easy for him to just grab him and toss him into the angel blade that he's picked up. But no, he has Crowley walk towards him, cuts his face and his nose and all that, and then throws him on the floor. And of course, right before Lucifer's getting ready to take Crowley out, we see this rat coming in the picture, and Crowley's looking at it. Then, of course, Lucifer stabs Crowley, and, of course, we're like, oh, that kind of sucks, but we know that not everything's as it appears, because there is no usual demon's death with the angel blade like there usually is. Now, I think that Lucifer is more focused on the fact of going after his son, because Crowley told him about Dagon being dead, Kelly being with Cass and all that, and that's his bigger issue at the moment, but also his sin of pride would have him neglect the fact that he didn't really kill Crowley. So, after all that, and Lucifer's outside where the episode ends going like, my son and all that, we see the demons kind of cleaning up. It's like, what do we do with the body? Toss it. So the demons grab the body, kind of like take it out, and we see the rat follow. Now, an interesting thing we need to figure out is, since Lucifer's thing is tied to his body, I wonder if the same thing is true with Crowley, and if he is going to have to use another body to get around that for the moment. So it'll be interesting to see where that's at, and that's kind of where we left off with that. Then, the main part that we see is Sam and Dean executing their plan. Lady Bevel's pretty much come to the place with like 2 of her British Men of Letters people, and Sam and Dean trick them, lock them in there, and they're able to capture Lady Bevel. And they're driving, and she's pretty much nitpicking on him and shitting on him, talking about how they got married, how Ketch and them had sex, and it might have been the best sex Ketch ever had, and that pisses Dean off, getting ready to go after her, and Sam's like, no, we gotta figure out a plan of attack, we gotta get her for information and all that. So they go to the bunker, and they're getting ready to kind of figure out what's going on, and we see that Ketch is there with other people. It's like, let her go and all that, and Sam and Dean are like, no. So Sam uses Lady Bevel as kind of like a shield and all that, takes out one guy. Dean goes for like some other people and is able to disarm Ketch. It's like, alright, let's see where this goes. So then we see that Mary comes in. And at first they're like, hey mom, what's going on? And then she's like, just put the weapons down and everything, and shoots at Dean, and he like is freaked out. And of course, Ketch is able to get his guns and everything, and pretty much leaves Lady Bevel there. It's like, hey, only one person can be in charge. I'm going to leave you here. So, okay, this is a nice little fortress, but it can also be your tomb. Very poetic. We shut off the water, and we're going to take the air pumps and reverse the airflow, so you'll suffocate within like 2 to 3 days. See ya. And of course, Dean's pissed off. He hates that this has been done to his mother. And it depends upon who they're going to have take out Ketch. Dean or Mary. So, yeah. And it was kind of cool to see Lady Bevel get her comeuppance and be like, I'm going to have to work with these Winchesters now to get out of this situation. So, the main guys that we're kind of like following, like Sam and Dean and Crowley, are kind of in really bad situations right now where Lucifer is out on the prowl. We don't know what's going to be going on. And I just really am interested to see where this is going to fall out, how Mary's going to get past this, how Sam and Dean are going to be able to help her get past this, and what's going to happen with like Cass and the Nephilim. Because this is setting up for next week's kind of 2-hour season finale. So we get 2 episodes on one night. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what's going on and how they're going to get this season wrapped up and kind of set up for what's going on, because it'll be kind of interesting if like Sam, Dean, and Cass have to like help this Nephilim grow and kind of get used to their powers, kind of similar to an Amar situation probably, or what that's going to be and where Lucifer's going to be in it. There's just a lot of cool possibilities that I can see going forward. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.